Hi everyone, and to all of the Gold Key, Silver Key, and Honorable Mention Award winners in the 2021 Scholastic Art and Writing Awards, congratulations. My name is Chris Wisniewski, and I'm the Executive Director of the Alliance for Young Artists and Writers, which is the nonprofit organization that presents the Scholastic Art and Writing Awards. Today's winners are joining an extraordinary and diverse group of past award recipients, people like Andy Warhol, Kay Walkingstick, Stephen King, and Shabalala Self. Today, you become a part of a nearly century-long tradition. But you're doing so in a year unlike any other. Despite the unprecedented challenges that 2020 has brought, each and every one of you has looked within yourselves and found the courage to express yourself through your art and writing. And that's what you're being recognized for today. That's no small feat. And so once again, I say congratulations. I also want to thank all of the educators, administrators, parents, grandparents, family members who have encouraged you along the way. The Scholastic Art and Writing Awards are a vast national undertaking, and they're only possible because of the exceptional effort of our affiliate partners all over the country who run regional programs, our dedicated staff in New York City, the leadership of our board of directors, and the many supporters who make our work possible. To all of you, I express my sincerest gratitude. Today is a day to celebrate this year's winners, but the tradition of the Scholastic Awards continues. So to all of you who are in 7th to 11th grade, who will still be eligible for the awards next year, I encourage you to apply to the 2022 Scholastic Art and Writing Awards next fall. Thanks so much, and one last time, congratulations.
Welcome everyone to the 2021 Scholastic Art and Writing Awards ceremony. My name is Shante Arroyo, and I'm the Arts and Education Coordinator with YubaSutterArts&Culture in Marysville. So what I did is I coordinated the writing portion of Scholastic Art and Writing, and the art portion was done by Jessica Haugen, who is the Director and Curator of Sutter County Museum in Yuba City. A big thank you to all of you who are joining us to help celebrate and recognize the amazing work that students submitted this year. And of course, a big thank you to all the participants. This year has been full of unknowns and a whole lot of chaos, but you all did not disappoint. We had a record number of submissions this year, 90 total submissions, almost double what we have last year. So thank you to all of you who participated. I hope we see some of you again next year. But without much further ado, let's get into the show. amazingly done to all of the artists who participated in the arts portion. Truly, it was great to see all of the artwork that came in this year. Now, we do have a special guest here with us today. David Reed, who is the executive director of YubaSutterArts&Culture, actually was one of our judges on the regional panel. And he can tell you a little bit about the process and the experience of what it all was like.
Thanks so much, Shantae. Really appreciate the opportunity to be on the program and address the students and the families and educators that are watching along with us. It was a unique experience to be able to be a judge this year. That's in large part thanks to you stepping in as our arts and education coordinator. So I didn't have to do all that stuff that you did. I could sit back, relax, and experience reading a number of remarkable entries. The writing portion of the program, the Scholastic Writing Awards, is really very diverse as far as the categories that students can submit in. Everything from critical essay to dramatic scripts, flash fiction, humor, journalism, novel writing, poetry, of course, personal essays, sci-fi, short stories, and complete writing portfolios if the student is really serious about their creative writing. The students are judged on a variety of criteria. Certainly, originality is a big part of it, along with showing a personal voice in their writing. Technical skill, of course, and other than that, it's pretty much left up to the student to write within that particular discipline, that category that they're submitting in. We should point out that both the art and the writing are done as a blind adjudication. As judges, we have no idea the gender of the student, the school they attend, really anything about them or their age. So it's I think as fair and impartial as it can be. So you're really just evaluating the work on its individual merits. So again, a great honor to have been able to participate as a judge this year. As Shantae pointed out, we had a record number of submissions. Our Arts Council is responsible for Yuba and Sutter County traditionally. Scholastic is the one exception where we're able to support 7 adjoining counties as the regional affiliate for the Scholastic Art and Writing Awards. So we really reach out into all these other communities, and it's just a tremendous opportunity to be able to experience work created by students from a much broader region. So we commend all of you for supporting the program this year, the educators, and of course the students for taking the time to submit. So we're going to, I think, hear from a couple of student winners, and Shantae's got lots more queued up for you. So thanks, Shantae.
I wanted to spend some time really celebrating our American Voices nominees and American Visions nominees. This is a huge honor. Let me explain why. Every single region will choose 5 works of art and 5 written works. From there, those nominees will go on to be judged by a panel in New York City. That panel will decide on one winner for each category. The winner of the American Voices nominees will become the medalist winner, and same goes for the American Visions. Those medalist winners will be celebrated during national events and the national exhibition. It truly is an amazing honor to be considered, and we are so excited to find out who our medalists will be this year. We actually have 2 of the American Voices nominees sharing some of their work coming up very soon. Up next, we have Isabelle Messner, who is one of our American Voices nominees in the writing portion. She's here to share a bit of her short story, Jacob's View.
Hi, my name is Isabelle Messner, and I will be reading a piece of mine called Jacob's View. I gave it this title because we see the Triangle Shirtwaist Factory fire, which happened in Manhattan in 1911, from the point of view of my main character, Jacob. So I decided to submit my writing to the Scholastic Art and Writing Awards because I have some older siblings who submitted their artwork and ended up winning some regional awards. So yeah, I decided to submit some of my writing because I've always loved writing and creating stories, and yeah, so I just wanted to see what happened. And here we are. Now I get to read my story to you all, and I hope you enjoy. Sweat was steadily dripping from the nape of Jacob's neck, wetting the oily ends of his hair. The drops ran all the way down around to his collarbone, finally falling and creating spots on the fabric he was cutting. Oy vey, smear, he muttered to himself through his cigarette, but he then reminded his mind not to think such things as feeling sorry for himself. The something he needed was just around the corner. He felt it. Besides, once you got over the whole prospect of working non-stop every day, just being in New York City almost replaced his longing for true freedom. The scissors he held in his calloused hand were raising up and falling, slicing through the worthless fabric. Jacob saw the cloth that way, as it was just something he cut day after day, not something he would ever dream of wearing. This quality of cloth was reserved for the wealthy people throughout the city. On a boat, he sailed to the city for so many days, waves crashing. No matter how seasick he got, the thrill that he was going to America kept him conscious. Eventually, he was able to have a tiny apartment. It was hardly even an apartment with a single room and peeling walls. Jacob was fortunate to even have a home to go to at the end of the day. The one window on the wall closest to the ocean displayed a view of Lady Liberty every night, and it was the last thing he saw before he closed his tired eyes. Those eyes almost closed, but the bell made them shoot open. Jacob dropped the scissors and clenched his hand over and over, trying to relieve the cramped muscles.
And up next, we have our second American Voices nominee, Michelle Esse, who will be doing a short reading of her story, Ibili.
Hi everyone, my name is Michelle Esse, and I'm a junior at Rockland High. My short story is called Ibili, which is Igbo for the word rise. This is a historical fiction based off of the true story known as the Igbo Landing, which was a slave rebellion that took place off of the coast of Georgia. This holds a lot of cultural significance to me because my father is from the Igbo tribe in Nigeria, which is the same place these enslaved people were from. I was inspired to write this story because of the unique ending of the Igbo landing. Instead of succumbing to bondage, the slaves actually jumped off of the ship and accepted death as freedom instead. So, when writing this book, I had to do a lot of research. I even read my great uncle's book. He was a historian on the Igbo people. So, I really wanted to accurately capture their story. So, I did that research, and I also used names of people that I know personally that are Igbo in my story just for that personal touch. Um, I heard about the Scholastic Art and Writing competition from participating in the NAACP AXO competition, and I chose to participate in this competition as well because I'm passionate about writing, and the importance of this story just needed to be shared all around. I thought it was very important that people know of this story and know that this actually happened, because if we don't learn about it in the textbooks. So I will be reading my story, Ibili. Mbele Ibina Ibere, April 1925. It is said that the Mbele Ibina is a kaleidoscope, frozen in time. An unspoken history looms beneath the white sandstone, where a river once lay, and remains fossilized in the emblems of oral tradition. A hill now reminiscent of an island, devoid of life within. History faintly recognizes a people known as the Igbos that inhabit it here, their livelihood, their culture, and their language erased. Mbele Bina Ibere, April 1802. Oh, so, bam! At the command, I took off. The heels of my feet compounded the soft floor as fast as lightning. I looked behind me, seeing the river blur past in a furious blue frenzy. A plumper figure loosely tailed my behind, his breath becoming fainter as I gained speed. "Envoy!" my friend shouted my name in between hefty steps. I laughed off his plea, and my legs bounded with great force and speed. The adrenaline from sheer mischief carried my body along the rhythm of the wind.
Now, all the participants are definitely in the know when it comes to what the process is like for submitting. But for those of you who maybe want a little bit more insight, I'm happy to give it to you. Each fall, students from all schools and districts all over the country will come together and submit their best artwork and writing to compete at the regional level. From there, these entries are judged by a panel of highly qualified professionals who will select the Gold Key, Silver Key winners, as well as honorable mentions. These judges will also pick the American Voices nominees and American Visions nominees. More on those later. From there, the Gold Key winners will go on to compete at the national level. And this is where over 1,000 students will receive national awards each year. It's also really important to pay attention to some of the alumni and past winners, including Andy Warhol, Sylvia Plath, Truman Capote, Robert Redford, Joyce Carol Oates, and even Amanda Gorman. Many of you may recognize that name. She's the youngest known U.S. presidential inaugural poet at only age 22. You guys are in very good company. Wow. So what did you think, David?
Just incredible, an incredible year for Scholastic, and seeing some of the excerpts reminded me of some of the works that I was able to read while judging, and the journalism category and critical essays and a few others. I'm like, oh, that one. And oh my gosh, it's just so beautiful to see it all play out here and to recognize these amazing young writers and artists.
Absolutely. Now, I do want to tell everyone that the full versions of each of the readings that were given by Isabel and Michelle are available at the Yuba Sutter Arts and Culture YouTube channel. So they're already up, they're public, they're ready for you to view. I highly recommend going through and watching it all because I watched them through a couple times. I really enjoyed being able to hear them actually tell their story. So thank you to both of you for submitting videos. I really appreciate you doing that. And as well, there will be a PDF available by the end of the week with all of the written work that was submitted, so all of the writers can, get their applause, get their flowers thrown at them. Really. So look for that on the Northern California regional website, on the Scholastic website. That's where there will be a link for you. And of course, we have to say quite a few thank yous here. A big thank you to Jessica Haugen, the director and curator of the Sutter County Museum, for coordinating the entire art portion. We always are so appreciative to her and for all of her hard work. And I have to thank also the entirety of the Yuba Sutter Arts and Culture team. David, of course, Abby Cesena, and Sue Grau. They've been a big help in teaching me the ropes this year and helping me out wherever I needed it.
You didn't need much help. Thank you.
I feel like I did, and it was always great to have that fallback of, hey, what do I do in this situation? So thank you to all of you. And of course, a big thank you to all of the participants, not only the winners, but everyone who submitted. It takes a lot to be able to submit your work like that. It's very nerve-wracking. I know from experience that handing over something that you created to someone else to judge, it can really take it out of you. So thank you to all of you for submitting your work and giving us the honor of being able to read it. Anyone else you want to thank here,
Oh,
David?
I just wanted to mention. So what's next for the finalists? If you mentioned it? I'm sorry if I missed it. Where do we go from here?
Well, from here, the national awards are going to be announced on March 17th. So that means we'll find out which of our American voices and American visions will become the medalists. And then on June 9th, there's going to be the national ceremony. So that's where, yeah, we're going to have the gold key winners go through and we'll see what happens there.
Do we know yet if they're doing it at Carnegie Hall again or?
There's no news of that yet. I think they're probably holding out hope they can do some things in person, but we're not sure yet.
Yeah, and same with us for later this year when the new season cranks up, and we'll hopefully be back in the classroom. But even if we're not, the show must go on, and we'll certainly be back to promote scholastic art and writing for the new school year. And thanks again to the arts educators, the English educators that really help facilitate this. We know it's been a tough year, a burden, an additional thing for you all to do, and just thank you for encouraging participation in programs like this. I think it's just so important. So really appreciate you.
Absolutely. So big thank you to everyone, our judges as well, the regional judges. They did a wonderful job this year. And we hope that we see a lot of you back again to submit next year.
Thanks, Shantae.
Thank you so much, everyone. Have a good night.